Hey, this is Anthony with Enterprises Software Solutions, your #1 software dudes. And I wanted to walk you through getting a domain set up in Office 365. So if you saw my previous video, we got set up with an Office 365 trial. And this is going to be the same for a trial or a licensed version of Office 365. So here, I've gone to portal.office.com and I have signed in using my admin account for my Office 365 subscription. And the first thing we want to do is just to launch the admin app. And this will bring up the admin center for Office 365. And what we're going to do is just hit the show more option over here on the left. And under setup, we're going to select domains. And here you can see the first domain that I originally created this subscription with. So softwaredudes.onmicrosoft.com. And so we can choose to buy a domain from Microsoft or add one that we already have. And so I've got a domain that I registered with Namecheap. And yeah, believe it or not, XYZ is a top level domain. And so to prove we own this domain, we have to add a text record with this information. And so I'm just going to copy this. And here I'm using Namecheap as my registrar. They're not sponsoring us, it's just my preferred registrar. And you can see I've got the essdemo.xyz here. So I'm just going to click on manage. I'll bring up the advanced DNS options. And here we have the option to add a new record. And this is going to be different on different registrars. But I'm just demonstrating what it would look like with Namecheap specifically, because that's where I've got this domain at. And I'm going to paste in the value that they've given me. And that's all there is to it for the text record to prove that we own this domain. And so we'll switch back over to the tab where we've got the verify domain. And this usually takes a couple of minutes for that record to actually update. We can go ahead and try it anyway and click on verify. And we can see that that record actually got published fairly quickly, and Microsoft was able to detect it. So to set up a domain with Office 365, there's two ways to do it. We can manage our own DNS records with our registrar. And so if we go back over to Namecheap here, we would have to add in a new record for each of the different settings that Microsoft needs for it to work, or we can have Microsoft set it up for us. And for this demo, we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to select next. And the nice thing here is that Microsoft will actually add your website's DNS record if you've got that set up with your current registrar. I do not currently have a website for essdemo.xyz. So I'm just going to go and click on next. And here we have the list of DNS servers that we need to tell our registrar that they are authoritative for a domain. So I'm going to copy the first one. You can see that they're all just NS1, 2, 3, and 4, and the rest of the domains are similar. All right, so back at Namecheap, I'm going to go back to domain. And here on the main page for my domain, I can scroll down and set the name servers to be custom DNS. And so this is where we will add in the DNS name servers that Microsoft gave us. And you notice there's only spots for 2 name servers, but if we click on add name server, we can add more in. I'm going to hit the checkbox to save it. And you notice you get a warning that DNS server updates may take up to 48 hours to take effect. And sometimes that's true. Usually it's a little faster. So just keep that in mind when you do switch your DNS over. We'll go back to the Office 365 Admin Center and hit verify. And you notice it hasn't been 48 hours. So these records aren't listed yet. All right, so the good news is we don't actually need to have those settings all set up to set up our users with our new domain. So we'll go ahead and do that while we wait. So I'm going to click on save and close. And you notice that we now have our new domain here, and it's listed as set up in progress for the status. And that's okay because we're still waiting for those name servers to change. So, but now that I do have my new domain, you can see that it's set as default. I can go to my users, my active users, and I've only got one user so far, and that's my user account. And if I go ahead and select this user account, I can edit the username for my user. And so to switch this user to the new domain, I need to first add an alias, set it as the primary, and we get this nice warning telling us that this user will no longer be able to sign in with the softwaredudes.onmicrosoft.com. Well, that's what we want. We want them to be able to sign in with their email address. And so in this case, my email address is going to be anthony@essdemo.xyz. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And since I'm signed in with this user account, it actually is going to sign me out. And to sign back in, you notice it has my old login saved, but I'm gonna select an option to use another account. And I'm gonna sign in using my new username. And it is the same password as before. So the password doesn't change, just the logon name. And now you'll notice here for my user under username that it shows up with the new domain. And so if I do try to create a new user, you'll notice by default, the domain is set to my new domain. So that's how you add your domain to Office 365. Thanks for watching. And remember that Enterprises Software Solutions is your #1 software dudes.